Hi guys, Blue Jay Artist here. Finally we have the video that celebrates my mark of having 10,000 subscribers. And sadly this video has been delayed because of personal reasons for so long that I now have 11,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for that as well. Obviously this video had the most votes out of the 3 that I gave you guys, and thank you for being so patient with me. I'm trying to find a better way to edit and just in general put more effort into my videos. Anyways, this rant is going to be a little bit different from how the rant was formatted last time. There are going to be no runners-up, just 7 of my favorite couples instead of 8. And I'm only counting cats that are like officially mates, like Berry Nose and Poppy Frost, even though they're kind of not on this list and I don't really like them. Anyway, let's start with number 7, Claptail and Brightheart. While I do like this couple, it is pretty low on my list. Everyone just goes on and on and on about how amazing this couple is, but I always thought it was... I mean, it's nice that Claptail was willing to support Brightheart in her darkest moments, and I feel that really is important in a couple. But why it's so low on my list is because Claptail is really just an idiot. I never really liked Claptail that much to begin with, and where he really bugged me was the whole situation with Daisy. I don't blame Daisy at all, don't get me wrong. Claptail was just being so idiotic and not thinking of how he had a mate, and a daughter even at the time. But he chose to spend all of his time fussing over Daisy, and even defending Brightheart over Daisy when Daisy's kids mess up the herbs she just collected. A nice couple in its debut, but it kind of missed the mark as the books went along. Let's move on to number 6, Crowfeather and Leafpaw. Oh, but I thought Blue Jay hated forbidden couples. How dare you? You betrayed me. Okay, hear me out. I still stand with the fact that I don't particularly like forbidden couples. But by the time we had Crowfeather and Leafpaw, there hadn't been that many forbidden couples. So it didn't feel overused when this couple was together. But on to why I actually don't dislike this couple. I actually believe that most couples in Warriors don't get much build-up or development. And not to say that Crowfeather and Leafpaw had so much development, but they had at least a bit more than others. One of their interactions was when Leafpaw was helping in RiverClan through sickness, and Crowfeather was actually pretty mean towards her. It wasn't love at first sight, it was both of them realizing that they loved each other pretty slowly for Warrior standards, and the fact that they both struggle with loving each other is even more convincing us that they really are in love. Leafpaw can't properly focus on her duties and fears that StarClan won't contact her anymore because she simply loves this cat, and Crowfeather feels as if there's no other cat like Feathertail and is afraid to open himself up again to this emotion of love or whatever. So when they finally meet up in Twilight, it feels like it's just so satisfying that these two finally move past their worries just because they love each other that much. I think that's the difference between a couple like Bluestar and Oakheart, which is also a forbidden couple. The narrative gave us enough time to convince us that Crowfeather and Leafpaw loved each other, unlike Bluestar and Oakheart. So that's what really makes that couple for me. The reason it's a little low on the list because it is still a forbidden couple and they both become slightly unlikable at moments, but that's just kind of a cliche that comes with forbidden couples. On to number 5, Swirltail and Brackenfur. While this couple kind of came out of nowhere, I still do enjoy it a lot. They're just those nice background characters who are like a simple couple with kids. With these two, it's nice not to have a bunch of drama surrounding them and just to show how supportive and caring they are of each other. The reason this isn't higher on my list is because, well, they're simply minor characters, so that doesn't give them much room to grow as a couple. They didn't have the spotlight, so we didn't get to see them develop more. It's a shame that Swirltail died recently, but the couple was sweet and simple while it lasted. Number 4, Thistleclaw and Snowfur. While I was thinking of couples that I enjoyed reading about throughout the books, I realized that these two were actually developed pretty well and had a supportive relationship. Well, into the whole run over by a monster, then turned into a monster thing. But their love for each other didn't come out of nowhere. It's mentioned that a little bit after Thistlepaw becomes an apprentice, he shows signs of developing a crush on Snowpaw, and she shares those same affections. He doesn't suddenly love her one day and the next minute he asks her to be her mate. These feelings started when they were apprentices and formed into something a lot bigger. It just felt more realistic and you could see how much they loved each other. And Thistleclaw is so affectionate towards her and you could see how much they loved each other. And you can see that he tries to make sure she's safe when Whitekit was born and make sure she's healthy and has enough water. And it's just really touching. Honestly, don't blame him for getting angered at Bluefur for taking Snowfur out of the camp. On a side note, I always kind of wanted an answer to what happened after Thistleclaw went to the Dark Forest and how Snowfur felt. Does she still love him? Is she disgusted with him? Does Thistleclaw still love Snowfur, or did all of that vanish when he joined the Dark Forest? It's just so interesting to me that this is one of, or maybe the only couple that are on opposite sides of the afterlife. It just makes the couple's love for each other so much more complex and opens a whole new field of thoughts, like I just talked about earlier. Anyways, on to number 3. Crooked Star and Willow Breeze. This couple was also in my older favorite couples video, and I can say that my opinion has not changed. I still love these two a lot. They start off as, close friends after Crooked Paw saves Willowpaw's life, and she starts to, grow affections towards him first. Oakheart brings this to Crooked Paw's attention, but the poor guy thinks that she just won't ever love him due to his disfigured face. Similar to Claptail and Brightheart, but where it's different for me is that the relationship has no Claptail. They both stay committed to each other, and it takes a bit before they get together. I'm not saying Claptail and Brightheart get together in a blink of an eye, but Crooked Star and Willow Breeze just remained close friends until he became leader. Since we got to see their characters and relationship time to bloom before they got together, it was so much more believable that they loved each other. Number 2, Firestar and Sandstorm. I have no clue how I forgot this couple in my older rant, because it's a couple I actually really like. I think you guys can tell at this point that I really like couples that have build up and don't start off as romance. I give more credit to this couple because of the fact that Sandpaw didn't particularly like the newbie Firepaw. She didn't fall in love with him the minute she met him like multiple cats did in this series. Not only until she saw what a courageous and kind cat he was that she started to form a bond with him. And she was there for him in the moments where he was uncertain, and I bet a lot of problems Firestar had to face wouldn't have been able to be solved without Sandstorm with him. It's clear why the two appreciate each other and love each other. Where this couple loses points though, kinda like Claptail and Brightheart, Firestar is still dealing with his emotions for the sweet-smelling medicine cat he talked to twice. Loyalty with Firestar lacks a bit with the whole situation, and that makes the couple a little bit less believable for me personally, but besides that, I still really like this couple. Finally, number 1, Ramble Star and Squirrel Flight. So this couple was only number 3 on my older rant, but since I don't like Hollyleaf and Fallen Leaves or Jayfeather and Half Moon romantically together anymore, and they're not officially couples, except for that confusing statement with Hollyleaf and Fallen Leaves, but moving on. And besides that, I believe this pairing is still better than those two. I guess it runs in the family because Squirrelclaw and Brambleclaw did not get along very well in the beginning. In fact, they pretty much downright hated each other. Brambleclaw thinks she's an annoyance, and the two bicker back and forth whenever they have to interact with each other. But over the course of the cats finding midnight, Brambleclaw and Squirrelpaw are forced to work with each other, and they start to realize that they both have admirable traits. What really pulls me into this couple is just the ups and downs that these two go through. I know I've said before that it can become really annoying when couples have too much drama, but I don't mind it as long as we can see the moments where they truly do love each other, and those moments can convince us that they do. The difference between a couple like Cinderheart and Lionblaze and Brambleclaw and Squirrel Flight is that we can easily believe that they are in love and that whatever Bramblestar and Squirrel Flight go through, their bond is unbreakable. We've seen enough moments of happiness that we can believe they'll fight, but in the end, they'll find a way through it. I know someone will bring up Jessie, and while I do admit I didn't like it, it was not as bad as Spotted Leaf, and it was extremely short-lived. In conclusion, Bramblestar and Squirrel Flight are a believable couple that clearly care for each other, will always find a way through their problems, and are my favorite Warriors couple. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to hear me blab on about drama cats, please subscribe or check out this playlist of all my rants. Also check out these other rad sites where I can be located. Thank you so much for the 11,000 subscribers once again, and I will see you next time. Blue Jay Artist, out.